Reading levels are the system that we use to assess and monitor student reading. We also use this to ensure that students are selecting books at an appropriate difficulty level for their own individual reading. This is the typical reading level progression that you'll see from kindergarten to grade 2. As you can see, we use letter levels. The letters go from A to Z, but typically by the end of grade 2, students reach a level M. Reading levels are assessed one-on-one. A teacher will ask a student to read aloud, and as the student is reading, the teacher follows along and tracks errors. And at the end, we ask reading comprehension questions to ensure the child understood the text. The accuracy score and the comprehension score in the end will provide us with the child's instructional reading level. An instructional reading level is the highest level a child can read with support in either accuracy or comprehension. The reason it's called an instructional reading level is that child will still need instruction in one of those two areas. You can find on your child's report card their instructional reading level as well as information about whether they're working on their accuracy or their comprehension. Accuracy is the percentage of errors a child makes while reading. So a child who's working on their accuracy might skip words while they're reading, or they might read a word incorrectly. Comprehension is the ability to understand, discuss, and answer questions about a text. We find some students can read an entire text, every word correctly, but in the end, when you ask questions, they're unable to tell you what they'd actually read about. If you're looking for ways to help your child with either their accuracy or comprehension, some strategies for practicing accuracy are to practice the sight words or the sounds. You can also encourage your child to track along with their finger while they read, or limit the number of guesses they're allowed to have as they're reading. And so you might lay out 5 popsicle sticks, and that's how many guesses you get as you're reading this story, and after that you have to decode all of the words. If you're working on comprehension, it's really important to be asking questions before, during, and after reading the text. We often forget to ask questions before a student reads, like, what do you think the story is going to be about? Why do you think that? What information might you expect to find in here? During the text, you can ask questions like, what do you think is going to happen next? Why do you think that character did that? How do you think this will end? And after, you can always ask them, tell me what that story was about. Did you like it? Why or why not? Asking questions at those 3 stages of reading are really helpful in developing reading comprehension. If your child is assessed at a plus level, what that means is that he or she has achieved the benchmarks to successfully read more or less any age-appropriate text. And so the focus can then shift from attaining a letter level to developing and maturing some reading behaviors. If you're looking for ways to track their progress, if they have a plus level, you can do this by tracking how long they're spending reading every day, or you can monitor that they're reading different kinds of text, so ensuring they're reading both a variety of fiction and non-fiction text, even looking at some reference materials. Or you could also have your child list a new and interesting word from the text as they're reading to help them develop their vocabulary. So letter levels are important for monitoring and tracking student progress, but ultimately our goal is to help to develop competent, confident readers for life.